All right, welcome back to EMESIS, everybody. Happy holidays, happy New Year's, Merry Christmas, whatever you're celebrating. If it's Kwanzaa, I don't know what Kwanzaa is, but someone's probably celebrating that.
Kwanzaa's like the cool version of Hanukkah, where you just get to, like your dreidels instead, you just get to throw rocks at people. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, the only thing
I don't actually know what Kwanzaa is. They didn't teach us about that in school.
Only thing I know is one of the Christmas concerts was about celebrating different holidays, and so every class had to perform a song about a holiday, and ours was Kwanzaa, and I still don't know what it is.
They made you do a song for a holiday that you don't even know anything about.
Yeah, our song was a Kwanzaa song, and then some class was a Christmas. There was one about Eid. You know, it was just the cultures of the world, and the one we got was Kwanzaa, and I still don't know what it's about.
Yeah, they did weird shit like that when I was in school. Like, I remember one time they were doing this, songs from around the world in music class, and they had this one that was from Israel that was this really abstract, weird chanting thing, and it made me think for the longest time that Israel was some kind of Lord of the Rings thing, where everybody just talks like all the music is this really anthemic fucking battle music or whatever.
You know what the song for Canada was?
What? But yeah, so we're recording this on the 26th, the day after Christmas. How was your Christmas, Chris?
Chris's Christmas was pretty good, actually. I got a very comfortable computer chair that I'm now sitting in.
I'm going to show it on screen.
It's got 2 pillows. It's one of those gaming chairs, but really it's just a comfortable-ass chair with 2 pillows on it.
How does the pillow work? Is it actually nice to...
Yeah, when I lean back, the top one is a headrest. Then the other one is kind of it's not too far down on the bottom. It's more back, lower back. So it's just it evens out. When you lean back, you're just you feel very relaxed. It's a lot better than the last chair I had.
This sounds sick. Yeah, the one that I use is just some random office chair that I got it from the thrift store and then wheeled it home. Because I lived 15 minutes away from the thrift store, and so I was just wheeling this whole computer chair. I didn't have a car or anything, so I was just walking home with it, and people were passing by me what the fuck is this kid doing?
I just bought an office chair. I want to bring it home.
Yeah, although I might eventually invest in one of those fucking, I don't know, those Keemstar chairs or whatever, the ones that everyone has.
The DX
I don't even know
Racer.
what they're... Yeah, something like that. The ones that have the little logo at the top or whatever. I got, not a ton for Christmas, but I got, enough money that I bought a DJ controller. So I might do EMESIS streams of me, doing DJ sets and stuff.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, and I got, some makeup, or not, some skincare shit and some new pajamas and loofah set. Nothing super fancy, but I mean, I didn't really ask for anything. So it's nobody knows what to buy for me because I'm too alien for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, I get it. It's we could get him a gift card, we could get him money, and then the rest is kind of what's an essential that this person can use? That's how most young adult teenage Christmases go.
Yeah, because it's I don't know, what else are they gonna get me? A fucking Cocteau Twins CD or something? I don't know. I don't have a ton of... Oh, I also bought some Steam games, and I bought some for other people. I got Chris Crimson Clover World Ignition.
That game, if you like bullet hells, that's an essential. You gotta play that. It's incredible.
It's not even too hellish for bullet hells. I'd say even if you're not the kind of person that particularly likes bullet hells, you'd probably find something to
if you like
enjoy
the appeal, the visual and audio stuff, but you're not good at the gameplay controlling stuff, you'll probably enjoy this game because you can just keep playing without losing, because there's a novice mode that allows you to just keep dying. It's just a way to experience a bullet hell without having to be good at one.
Yeah, exactly. It's I'd say it's the polar opposite of something like Toho, where you just cannot play it.
Yeah, you have to have a very special mind to be able to function a Toho game.
Because you have 3 pixels of wiggle room. I always say it's you're avoiding playing the game or something. That's what it feels like. But with Crimson Clover, it's just nice and, I don't know, fast flowing and fun. I got Nier Automata. Been playing that a little bit. Well, I haven't gotten very far. I only beat the first level. I got really pissed at it because if you die in the opening level, you have to like restart the whole game over again, and I ended up dying on the first boss fight. But then I learned how to parry and dodge and stuff. Shit got a lot easier.
Yeah, I've been playing a few games. If I'm not playing WoW or a fighting game, I'm playing Red Dead 2 right now. But then all of a sudden, I got a PS5, and so now I'm playing Demon Souls.
Oh yeah, tell us the little background of
So, PS5 happened because my mom's boss got 2 of them, and he wanted to sell one at work. Not for like a spiked up price or anything, just like regular price. One with a disc and a controller and all that. It wasn't like the discless one because I didn't want that. So luckily it was the right kind. He's like, oh yeah, well, I'll sell it to your family. And so all I had to do was pay half. My parents covered the other. And then, yeah, I had a PS5 the next day. Well, not the next day. It was like a couple days after, I think.
And you have to pay $100 for the games.
Yeah, it was $100 Canadian for the game. I don't know if it's that much in America, but we'll put some pictures on screen. I'll show you like the prices of the games on the digital store and then prices of the games, like even just like the disc. It's the same price either way in Canadian, but like
yeah, I looked it up and it was like $70 for Demon Souls PS5, and I'm like, I never heard about this. When did we suddenly decide that games have to cost more now?
So PS3,
I don't think From Software needs that much money.
Yeah, PS3 games, I remember here, Canadian, they were $59.99. Then PS4, I think around the start they were $69.99 and ended up being $79.99. Now we're at $89.99 with PS5 games, and the thing is
I thought this was some kind of thing where if you pay the $90 or whatever, you get the collector, like the digital collector edition.
No,
where
that's
it's like,
the
okay,
game price.
You get Shadow of War, and you also get a bunch of extra, I guess, people to help you fight, or more costumes, or I don't know, the fucking digital soundtrack. No,
some of these like deluxe editions are over $100.
I know, like they did one for Horizon Zero Dawn, and I'm like, I got through that game just fine without having to need all this extra bullshit for it. I get, like, it's not even a kind of thing where you feel like you're supporting the little person or whatever. Horizon Zero Dawn was a huge AAA game.
I know. It's not like those limited run games where like you get like a special game that never gets a physical release, and it's...
Yeah, and then you see Celeste sitting on a shelf at GameStop. It's cool.
Yeah, like they'll have that, and then there's the one that was for Panzer Dragoon, so it's on PS4, but it comes with the Sega Saturn case as like a special collector's item. It's like the original Sega Saturn case.
Yeah, and the cover, or in the case itself that has the game in it.
It has like a mock-up cover, yeah, as a reverse. Kind of like when, was it Sonic Mania had that with the Genesis alternate art.
And like that shit is cool, but then for everything like that, I mean, I guess we've kind of... No, we haven't fully moved on from it, but they used to have the fucking physical collector's editions where... I was showing Chris some of them last night. Some of them are so funny. There's like the Duke Nukem Forever Balls of Steel edition, where it's like... You can buy that. I looked it up. You can buy one of those right now, like with everything intact, probably unopened, for $25 on some website.
My top
that
three,
probably
there's
costs
ones
like
that
$150.
are even better than that. There's, well, obviously everyone knows the Fallout 76 one where it had the really shitty bag.
Yeah, because it said it was going to be like a messenger bag. Like, it showed one that looked pretty nice, and then you get it, and it's like a fucking, like, tote bag.
Yeah. There's 2 that I also really like. There's the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite one, where, like, it's like, oh, it comes with, like, this, like, case with the Infinity Stones, and it literally, they look like shit. It's, like, these plastic egg-looking things. We should put a picture.
They couldn't even get, like, minerals or anything.
No, and then the other one was, I think it was Resident Evil 6. It came with a leather jacket, but it was a really shitty leather jacket. It was supposed to be like a Leon one.
Fucking just like give them a voucher to go to Nordstrom and get your own fucking jacket.
I'll put a picture of it. Apparently it was a really shitty jacket.
Oh my god. Yeah, why would you even... And the thing is, it cost like $250 for the bonus edition. It's like, do you really need that big figure of Marcus Phoenix?
Yeah. Oh man,
like,
collector's
I kind of get it if it's like, I know they do runs of like Shin Megami Tensei games where you get like an art book and like the soundtrack and stuff. That's cool.
I love art books.
For every one of those though, you get like, I saw there was a fucking Homefront the Revolution one where it was, you get like a RC controlled car or something that looks like shit. Something that like, if it was on ThinkGeek, if that was still a website, it would cost like $20 maybe. But you're paying $150 for a physical copy, and then all this other crap. Like, well, you get a map of the game. Cool, the game looks like every other game.
Yeah, it's like, oh cool, it comes with a map. It's not like GTA has that in the case.
I know, like fucking like Vice City. I used to have it on my wall. It gave you the whole map. It was cool. Same with Civ 4. Like, it's not a new thing, and I didn't have to pay extra for that shit.
Not at all.
So, a lot has happened recently in terms of just the internet being kind of weird. So, I want to talk about Twitch.
I can talk about Twitch.
Here, you go then to start off.
So, recently there was two different women banned, very opposite sides of the ban hammer spectrum. One was just this streamer had got up and left, and her child just like walked into her room and was just like looking at the camera and all that. Didn't do anything wrong. It was just like the kid was in the room on her own, unsupervised, for like maybe a minute at most.
Yeah, like 2 minutes maybe.
And then yeah, she came back, the kid like left the room or whatever. It wasn't a big deal.
And then she got banned for that because you can't have, like, you have to be 13 to be on Twitch.
Yeah, and because a child was unsupervised on stream, that was banned worthy. And then on the very other opposite end, there was a porn star streaming on Twitch, which is not a platform where you're supposed to be pornographic to the degree that she was, because she literally showed her pussy on stream. Like,
what kind of, like, was that an accidental thing?
No,
or was it
I will send you the clip. We can't show it on the fucking thing, but I'll send you like a clip of it. It is like the most intentional thing that's ever been intentional.
And like, that's not the first time that's happened on Twitch.
She got
like,
banned for like 3 days or something, and then the other streamer, I don't know how long she got banned for, but like still got banned for something so minor.
I know, that's minor. Like, that's so fucking stupid. I don't get what, like, was a human being behind these decisions? Was it just like a fucking random like AI that's like, no, we're gonna just do, like, that doesn't make any sense.
Then,
if I met anybody that I knew did that, I would be like, you're fucking stupid.
Yeah. There's a couple other bands
that
what is it? I'll send you the like articles about them. I can't remember like what they specifically did. I know this guy Forsen, who's really big on Twitch. I don't really watch him often, but he got banned for a while. He just got unbanned, and like the thing he did apparently like wasn't even that bad. And then there's this one guy, Barry74, who got banned, and he's still banned, and apparently what he did wasn't even that bad either. But like, they get these really long bans, and then someone does like porn on their stream and gets like a slap on the wrist, and then someone gets like equal punishment for literally doing nothing wrong because they're kids.
Meanwhile, I don't remember if this was on Twitch, but this was in the world of streaming more recently. There was a streamer from Russia that apparently is notable for not being a particularly good person, because apparently Russia is just kind of like, I don't even know, like, it's GTA basically. You're just all doing, or like Saints Row, like a more cartoonish version of like what a shitty world would be. But so there's this guy who's like notable on Twitch. I don't know how popular. I don't think he's like ninja popular in Russia or anything, but he's like known generally for not being a particularly good person. And then on stream, he knocked his girlfriend out, stripped her mostly naked. She was like in her like bra and panties, and then threw her outside in like the freezing Russian cold, which is like below 10 degrees Fahrenheit.
Russian winter is very, very cold.
And he left her out there unconscious for like, I don't know, like a couple hours or something. And then he went outside and grabbed her and then dragged her lifeless body into, like, on camera into the fucking house.
Yeah,
and
her dead
like,
body.
And the I didn't watch the full clip, but it's really fucking weird because the guy partway through kind of realized, like, he kind of snaps to his senses and realizes what the fuck he's just done, and he's like fucking crying, trying to revive her and stuff. And
stream.
It's like, yeah, like doing CPR and stuff. And it's like, dude, everyone just saw that. Everyone, like, the internet doesn't forget. Like, I saw it on Kiwi Farms where they had archives of it immediately.
Yeah.
Because obviously that shit's gonna get, it was taken off of YouTube. Like, it was really not to, like, and the thing is people had to, like, complain for it to get removed from YouTube. Like, a fucking dead body.
Really, that they had to, like, send in complaints or reports or whatever, being like, yeah, this thing happened on your website, guys, you should probably do something about it. But then Twitch has no problem banning people that say, well, now the words simp, virgin, incel, cuck. Is there any other words that were banned? Apparently they just banned the N-word recently and didn't decide to do that like 10 years ago when they made Twitch.
I think it's so funny. Yeah, they decided recently to ban, like, even if, like, a black person says, like, the hard R, they're getting the ban hammer. I don't know how it's going to affect, like, Sweet Anita, the Tourette's streamer that says it occasionally.
She doesn't say it often. Like, I think it happened once or twice, and, like, it's obviously super accidental.
Of course, but still, like, like, that kid coming into the room was accidental, from what I can tell.
Yeah, like, Anita could receive a permanent ban if that happened.
And, like, that would suck. I like Anita. But, and Twitch in general, yeah, like, why would you ban... I saw some people on Twitter that were like, hey, look at all these, like, grown men complaining that you can't say these, like, words like simp and incel on Twitch. It's like, it's not about the words themselves. I don't really care if people say those words or not.
There's streamers that have emotes with, like, simp in them because, like, it's a joke. It's a joke that some communities have where it's like, oh, we're simping for this person, so they use, like, a simp emote whenever someone starts simping.
Like, I'm not gonna, like, cry censorship or whatever. I just think it's fucking stupid. Why would you... That's such a nothing thing to ban somebody
They also
for.
they banned the word blind. Well, not... They banned the term blind playthrough.
Yeah,
like,
because it's
they
apparently...
changed the category.
Apparently it's offensive to blind people, who I didn't hear of any blind people being like... Why are they calling things blind playthroughs? Blind playthrough has been a term, like, since I've been on the internet in, like, you know, the mid-2000s.
Going in blind.
Yeah, like, oh, blind let's play of Phantasmagoria or something. That's been just lexicon forever. And I never heard a single person be like that, like, even in the modern, like, you know, everything is everything phobic culture or whatever. I've never saw anybody say that.
It's similar to Latinx, where people that are actually... Latina, they don't like that term. It's just white libs using it because they think it's cool.
I like Latinx because it reminds me of, like, Jason X, that movie where he is, like, he goes into space and kills people. But no, yeah, that's the same shit. And I don't, blind playthrough... Like,
we had a joke in WoW where they were saying that Blizzard was gonna be, like, forced to change the term blind, that because rogues have a spell called blind. And what it does is you use it to make the person temporarily, like, it's like some form of a stun that they break out of it when they get hit, but it's a way to CC somebody. And so people are like, oh, they're gonna have to change it to, like, pocket sand or something because blind is offensive.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, WoW had Cumtown in it, so maybe they're a little cooler about, like...
there is a cool reference to Cumtown in the new raid that just came out. In Castle Nathria, there's a 3 boss fight. It's like a 3-character boss fight, and the names of the bosses are based off of Nick Mullen, Adam Friedland, and Stavros.
Yeah, like, there's... I think it's, like, something, like, Lord Frida, like...
It's like Lady Frida, Lord Stavros, and then...
Something
Nick's
Nicholas.
is a little different, yeah.
And, like, that's fucking awesome. Hopefully EMESIS gets in, like, a... We're not even in that. We're in, like, Genshin Impact or something. They make us as, like, Moe girls or something.
I would love that.
You get a chance to roll us.
Yeah.
No, Twitch, though. And so they've been doing all this kind of shit, like... There was a thing for a while that was saying, and apparently it's not, like, true, but they were saying that potentially people could be jailed for using or showing copyrighted material on Twitch. And
the DMCAs, that's right. I didn't even remember to talk about that. We can go into that now.
I think that's very funny that I mean, it's like a horrible precedent to be setting, but it's funny to think that we're at the point now that you could be fucking banned for... So say we are, like, on stream when we show, like, a clip from Frozen 2 or something. We can go, like, potentially, like, get a fine or, like, be, like... I don't want to, like, be up in arms.
Get banned.
Well, apparently,
or get a strike like... or something at the least.
Like, I heard somebody saying that the whole, like, jailing thing is not true and is, like... They went into the detail. It's hypothetical. Well, they went into the details of, like, it's more about the providers and not, like, the content creators. But I don't know, like, with fucking Section 230 trying to get repealed, where they're basically trying to say that now any platform on the internet is responsible for whatever its user base says. Because before there was kind of a thing in place where, say on Twitter or something, if there's like the whole no map thing, technically Twitter's not responsible for that. But in the modern incarnation, Twitter, well, not even Twitter, it'd be, because Twitter is one of the global elites. It's fucking like Facebook tier. It's one of the most popular websites ever. If anybody is going to be hit by it, it's like, you know, tiny.
I think
forums.
Twitter, well, Facebook is really big with boomers still, but Twitter is very much the millennial Zoomer kind of social media. That's where everyone like us is.
And the reason why is because, like, they banned Tumblr. Well, they didn't ban Tumblr. They might as well have, though. They banned porn, and then, of course, like, Tumblr, nobody had any reason to use it besides porn. So they're like, no, it's gone. And it's so funny because their whole reasoning for that is because, like, yes, there was a lot of, like, underage kids posting their own nudes on Tumblr and stuff, but you're throwing the baby out with the bathwater there and eliminating your entire user base to the point that the last time I went on Tumblr, because I used to be kind of active in there up until, like, I think they banned porn in, like, late 2018 or late 2017. It was, like, a couple years ago. And I would still use it just to, like, follow aesthetic blogs and, like, I don't know, Drain Gang fucking blogs or whatever. But then I went on there more recently, and just nobody is posting on there anymore. Nobody cares. Like, I used to get random, like, followers out of nowhere, and, like, they banned those.
Probably had no notifications at all.
Like, I had, like, notifications that, like, oh, I posted a Comethazine song, like, 3 years ago, and now everyone is, like, still, I guess, finding it and reblogging it sometimes, but it's like a very, very small portion of people because nobody's fucking using this website anymore. Compare that to Twitter, where, like, Trump uses Twitter all the time. It's not like Trump is, like, constantly posting on Facebook, you know what I mean? It's Twitter because it's easy. You go on there, you see dumb posts.
You never hear about Trump's Facebook posts. You always hear about his tweets, even other politicians.
Yeah, like, you don't... Like, you go on Twitter, like, everyone is now, like, you got the woke Wojak thing, which I guess we could talk about. So,
Wojak, yeah.
So, lately there's been... I don't even know what started it, really, but I guess, normies... I don't like using that term very much, because I'm kind of normie in some ways.
People that are not extremely online, or people that aren't really in the meme culture started posting Wojaks. But they started making them, like, raced and personalized. There's an e-boy one, e-girl one.
There's, like, an Israel one, or, like, a Jewish one. Like, there's all kinds of them,
super personalized ones. There's Asians, there's black ones.
There's, like, light-skinned black ones. Like, there's everything now.
They have hair, like, realistic-looking hair. And Wojak used to just be in the same vein as Rage comics or any other reoccurring character meme. It's a blank slate that is just used to express an emotion. So you had the angry Wojak, the happy one.
You had the doomer Wojak with the, like, you know...
It's the same deal as Pepe, except with Pepe, people still customize them, but they were still Pepe. Now the Wojaks are almost unrecognizable.
Like, I could pay somebody probably to make a Wojak that looks exactly like me, because that's just what people are doing.
It's gonna be the new, like, Bitmoji, like when Snapchat has, like, those Bitmojis. We're gonna have that, but it's Wojaks.
God, I can't even believe that they managed to make Bitmojis uglier than bit strips. Like, I remember thinking bit strips looked fucking stupid. Like, they look like Go Anime.
Not high school, middle school. We had to use that a little bit in grade 7, and then we used it in elementary school as well. I hated bit strips.
Yeah, because they were, like, on top of just being ugly, they were things that are just, you insert the characters, and then it makes the memes for you or whatever. Like, it would be a thing like, Jess throws his CDs at Chris. Like, and then you put in the, you know, the avatars, and then it does the rest of the work for you. At least with the Wojak thing. I mean, even in, like, the woke ones or whatever, at least you have to make them. And you get to do whatever you want with them. But there's so many fucking insane ones now. Just, like, they'll have...
They're getting into race wars. There's ones where... Or not even just race wars, but there's ones where one community is insulting the other and the other's insulting the other. And this is a meme that came from 4chan. And in, like, the 10 years that people posted Wojaks on the internet, They were, I mean, there was obviously probably alt-right racist ones because, 4chan.
Absolutely.
Same with Pepe. But generally it wasn't used for that. It was just reaction images, just general emotions being used through images, because that's how image macros work, which is a word I haven't used in forever because the internet culture is starting to fade away. We don't have image macros anymore.
Yeah, it is kind of weird to think how, like, I always hate talking about it because I feel like such a, not only a doomer, but just like an elitist, but it really does feel like the internet got very, very changed by, like, normie culture or whatever. Like, by time, and you could kind of see it happening in real time. Like, I was in middle school when, like, everyone started using the internet. So I was using the internet from, like, way the fuck too young, pretty much. I
started in, like, 2007, well, probably later 2007, more so 2008 when I was 8, because 2000's baby here, so that was my era. 2008, 2009 were my beginnings, going on, like, Pokemon websites, Nintendo forums, that type of deal.
Yeah, I was blessed. So I was born in 98, and my dad already had a computer, like, with internet capabilities when I was born, because, like, he just kind of saw the value in the internet or whatever. He was a very smart person in that regard. He's like, yeah, the internet is going to be the future, pretty much. And so I remember even when I was, like, fucking 3 or 4, or, like, 5 years old, maybe, I had my first email account, inuyasha-guy98 at AOL.com, which I kind of want to use nowadays because I think that's funny. But
mine was I tried Master Chief 2000 and that didn't work. So instead of Master Chief 00, I put Master Chief 1999, even though I wasn't born in 1999. I don't know why, I just did. And I think it was like a live email, Hotmail, one of those Microsoft ones, or maybe it was something else.
Like, I guess my general point is, like, I remember, like, chain letters. Do you remember chain letters?
You gotta send this email to 5 other friends or the boogeyman's gonna kill you.
Yeah, like, I remember there was a specific one that was, like, oh, a girl got killed at a bowling alley in, like, 2002 or something, and then now if you don't send this to, like, 6 other people, she'll get you in your sleep or whatever. And I remember
these days I'm hoping that happens.
I know, right? But I was, like, freaked out by that at the time. I was like, oh my god, like,
I better share this.
I'd be like, Mom, if I don't share this to people, like, can you protect me? Can you make sure that mean old, like, Carrie doesn't come kill me in the middle of the night or something?
I remember I was on the StarWars.com website, the Star Wars website, because they used to have games on there, news about Star Wars videos. So I'd go on there. I think I was 9. And there was an advertisement, because, ads on the internet. There's one advertising how I won a free Xbox 360, and I got my dad to look at it. I'm like, is this real? Obviously, it's not real.
I remember there was one when, like, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, like, just came out, that we were using my dad's computer in his, like, office or whatever, and we were just on some website, and there was a pop-up ad that had this gameplay footage of Ruby and Sapphire on it, and it's like, click here to play now, and I, like, fucking, like, clamored my dad and, like, shoved him to the side and, like, grabbed the mouse and, like, it's like clicking on it, like, I want to play
Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire on my PC the day they came out on the Game Boy Advance.
And then I eventually did get Pokemon Ruby, but my dad got a bootleg version off eBay that, like, well, it was like the official game, but those came in red cartridges, and the one that he got was just a standard black cartridge. Was it a gray
cartridge? Oh, man.
Yeah, with a, like, it had the logo, or, like, the front of the game printed on, like, really shittily. It looked nothing, like, I saw a real copy of it years later, and it looked fucking nothing like it. And then eventually it got to the point that you couldn't, like, if you saved the progress and then restarted it, like, the battery inside died or whatever, so it wouldn't.
Oh yeah, bootleg Pokemon games are they were very common. They still probably are if you're trying to buy used
I'd say they're just as common now as they used to be. Probably more common now.
The thing is, I've never bought one, because I've bought and used Game Boy cartridges of Pokemon games, but all the ones I've had have been real, and I can confirm that they are. I've been able to check, because I know what to look for, but it is very easy to find them depending on where you look. But I think depending on what game store you go to, they probably know to check for bootlegs.
Well, they have to, because literally, I could go on AliExpress right now, and they have for like $10, you can get a set of like, it'll have like ruby, sapphire, emerald, fire red, leaf
games
green.
that are worth like $50.
And the
each.
thing is at least the cartridge that I got of Pokemon Ruby all those years ago looked fucking nothing like the actual cartridge. Like, you would not be able to pass it off.
Some of them are.
They
like,
look exactly
really
like them. The only
convincing.
way that you would know that they're fake is if you took them apart and then looked at the the motherboard and stuff to know that they're, or the chips or whatever, to know that it's obviously fucking bootleg. But people do that all the time now. Like, they do it with N64 games especially.
Oh yeah, that's another big one.
If you go on AliExpress, you can get like a sculptor's cut, which costs like $300 or something, or like $250 or something. You can get one, I don't know, $5, $10, and it looks exactly like, it looks like a normal ass N64 game. And then there are some where they have like, they'll sell fake labels that look exactly like the regular ones, and they're like, well, it's like if you have an old copy of Little Samson, but the art is shitty, you can like rip it off and then put this on. It's like, nobody's going to be doing that. People want the
why?
They want the genuine thing. They don't fucking want that. It's fucking just a complete ripoff, and it's sad. But no,
Nobody's gonna be doing.
yeah,
that.
pop-up ads were fucking interesting, but no,
fun.
I guess my point though that I was making, I guess, is that like, I was on the internet when I was way too young to have probably been on the internet. Like, I remember I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Unboxings, and for something so fucking innocent, people were absolutely ruthless in the comment section. Like, you think YouTube comments are vicious now? Like, try like 2007, 2008. Like, I remember one. Like, when Chris Allen beat Adam Lambert in season 8 of American Idol, I watched this, I was looking at other people's reactions to it, because, like, reaction videos aren't super a new thing. I remember seeing reaction videos to, like, shit like that.
Well, they used to not be reactions back in the day. They were reply videos. Someone would post a video, and you could reply to it with a video.
And then they got rid of that, because people were
that.
just, like, titties. It was like the titty streaming before that was a thing.
Yeah, there was reply girls, reply guys. There'd be, like, people with no talent, just like some shirtless dude talking about, I just watched this video, it's pretty cool, guys, you should go check it out. Or there'd be the girl sitting there, titties out, I just saw this video, it's really good, check it out. It was all the same thing.
I get the sense that's what Pat the NES
maybe they
was
would talk about
before
it.
he got popular. But
why, just a reply guy?
Yeah, it's a James Rolfe or something. Hey James, pretty cool video. I also have a video where I talk about Circus on the Atari. Check it out. And then it's like 10 seconds long.
Hey James, great video. I also have an NES collection. Check it out.
But yeah, the internet used to be so weird. And the weird thing is I see a lot of people that have been around, like, people that have been around since those days that say the internet is better now. And I'm like, it's assuredly not. Like, I know that fucking YouTube standards weren't super fucking high in 2009. Like, the biggest YouTubers were like...
There's more creativity at times, I guess.
The popular people in 2009 were like Shane Dawson, Fred, Smosh, like, and it's funny because you look at a list of the most subbed people in 2009, and none of them are in like the top anything anymore. Like, what is Kev Jumba up to nowadays?
Probably just living a good life.
Or like Michael Buck or What the Buck Show, like.
I was about to say a dose of Buckley.
Oh no, Buckley is still...
He's still going, I know.
He's going strong. Shout out to... Well, we don't really... Well, we love Buckley. He's the greatest YouTuber who has ever...
This is Musical Autopsy.
It's the show where Doc Buckley takes his scalpel to dissect a song or artist. Today on the cutting room table, it's PAXIL Party. Yeah, like, that's... the internet. But nowadays, I don't know. Fucking, by the time...
You know what happened?
What happened?
I can explain it. So, let's look at Twitter. That's the big one. Because Twitter took two crowds. It took the crowd of just normal people using social media, and it took the extremely online crowd because it's an appealing social platform for the extremely online, whereas Facebook isn't, because Facebook, you have to have your profile, just be yourself, and then Twitter, you
can just call yourself like Titty Knocker 69 with a profile picture of Violent J.
Yeah, it could be like, You could be like the Cumguz 5000 or something.
Exactly. You have your anonymity, and you also...
There's people that are just known as Twitter users, and then what happened was the two cultures kind of collided, and people on the one side didn't really like the other's culture, and vice versa, and so then that basically killed internet culture in a way. Like,
because it wasn't a one-way street. Like, the people, like the online people absolutely hated the like normie approach, and then the normies hated all these irony guys on Twitter that are, you know, saying the wrong things or whatever, but ironically or whatever. Like, it was very strange, and it's still going. Like, I'd say that Wojak thing is a good example of it, where I used to just see Wojaks posted. Like, I didn't really see Wojaks being posted until more like the past few years or whatever, but now it's like everybody's doing it. It's weird to see, like, the meme where the most popular one that I saw is just like a guy like sitting in his or laying in his bed with his phone, and it's like dark, and the only light is from, and it's like he has like a sad face, and it's like, this isn't what you should want to be. Like, the whole point of that meme is like cope posting with like the fact that you don't want to be that, and that. Yeah. And now people are making
Wojaks aren't supposed to be personalized. They're not supposed to be projections. They're supposed to just be reaction images, but now they really aren't.
Yeah, and it's very strange. I mean, the internet definitely still has stuff going for it. Like, I would never say that it's become...
It gave us Bane posting, and Bane posting is the best meme of all time.
What is Bane posting? I don't really...
It's, have you ever seen The Dark Knight Rises?
No, I only watched The Dark Knight more recently when I was in the hospital.
Okay, well, the sequel to The Dark Knight Rises, starts off with this scene called the people on the internet, we call it the plane scene, and it has some of the most absurd dialogue ever. It's just the way the scene progresses, it is just so memeable. I don't know how to describe it, mainly just because 4chan people started memeing it, but it is pretty ridiculous. I'm gonna show it to you later. We should use it as the visualizer. Maybe that'd be pretty funny.
I will, yeah, and I'm gonna get fired.
But the best part of it is there's a part, so he takes the bag off of Bane's head. I could explain the scene, I guess. So basically there's these three guys that got captured. Apparently they have connections to Bane. One of them is Bane. We don't know that though until the bag is pulled off and Bane's there, and he says, "Nobody cared who I was till I put on the mask." And then the CIA dude, who he introduces himself as CIA,
you know what you do.
If I pull that off, will you die? He's like, if I pull that off, will you die? And then Bane says, it will be extremely painful. And CIA says, you're a big guy. And then Bane says, for you. And that was like the big meme from that scene that everybody goes crazy over. And it's like, people still make funny Bane posts to this day.
I thought it was the kind of thing where, because I know that scene where Bane like snaps the guy's neck and he like takes the microphone, because I've seen edits of that where people will put in like, I don't know, Keemstar or something, like talking over the thing like, hello, welcome back to Drama Alert. Then he snaps the guy's neck or something. Like, I always saw that, but...
The other one was, so the very first dialogue in the movie is pretty much... They get there, the CIA dude says, Dr. Pavel, I'm CIA. So he introduces himself as CIA.
You know what you do, like that thing that every CIA agent does.
So canonically, he is known as CIA, and the stance that he does at the start is also a meme. So basically, the entire scene, like every single frame is a meme. So it's like, it's just endless content. It's so good.
That reminds me, like, when I was watching The Dark Knight, like, in the hospital, I had never seen that movie before. It's actually pretty cool. I'm not really a big superhero movie person, I guess, but, like, that movie was very entertaining. But I realized at the last, like, because I only started watching it, like, I imagine, like, to the second third of the way through or something. Like, and the last third of that movie, like, every line is a meme, basically. It's got, like...
Oh, every line in that movie, like, there's so many quotes from that movie. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That's from The Dark Knight. Like, Why So Serious is from The Dark Knight.
The thing where, like, you do one thing...
Some men just want to watch
you do one thing and no one bats an eye. And then you do something else and everyone loses their shit or whatever. Like,
So many quotes.
And, like, it's almost like you're watching a parody of, like, meme culture, but it's like, no, this was just the movie that spawned all this stuff. Kind of admire it in that sense.
Yeah.
But, oh, Dark Knight. But yeah, internet culture is funny. We're obviously helping, I guess, maybe not keep it alive, but I don't know. I'm the kind of person that likes to seek out people that don't really buy into how boring it's become. People that don't know who Chris Chan is, and then when they find out about Chris Chan, they're like, this is bullying, this is mean, you can't be doing this to people.
Not knowing how many terrible things Chris Chan has done.
Well, not only that, but this is the fact that, like, Chris Chan was, like, the ground zero or whatever of internet culture. Where, like...
And then new people are like, yeah, we can't make fun of this, even though most people, I feel like, just think it's funny.
I know, like, obviously the people that, like, actually, like, terrorize Chris's life are a terrible fucking person, but for everyone like that, it's just people, like, fuck, we asked him to be on EMESIS and fucking got followed back. Or at least I did.
Yeah, followed Jess on Twitter and still does, but never replied to our thing asking to be on the podcast.
Yeah, I've been sent a DM, like, hey, do you want to be on the podcast? We'd definitely be willing to do it whenever you're free. And just never got an answer. Like,
I mean, I guess that's better than Double Sweet.
Oh, shout out to Double Sweet. I still feel kind of bad about that. So we were going to have Double Sweet, the internet rapper, myth, the legend, creator of one of my favorite videos on the internet, SpongeBob Style, which I've seen probably like... Well, not probably. I've seen it over 100 times.
My favorite is How to Cook a Krabby Patty.
What's the one where he says, no room for, or no time for 11, because I'm already...
No, it's Gentle Sweet. No need for age 11, because I'm already 12.
It's like, what does that mean? Like, I wanted to have him on to ask him that, but then...
He blocked us.
Oh, yeah, well, because, so I was, like, dealing with a lot of, fucking, like, mental health issues. I had to quit drinking, like, a couple months ago and stuff. And so I was not in a place to be able to have someone, like, Double Sweet on the on the podcast to, like, be asking all these questions and stuff. And so eventually, I guess he thought that we were, trolling him by being like, "Hi, you want to be on the podcast?" and then not replying or whatever. And so he blocked us. I'm like, oh...
I let him know, too. I sent him a message. I'm like, it might be a little while. We're dealing with some problems of our own, but we'll let you know. And then, yeah, eventually just blocked us.
Although, we're still in his Discord server. I guess we could go and see, like...
I'm not. Actually, am I?
I am. I didn't get kicked out.
I left.
Yeah, I didn't really go in there. It's just, like, Sweet being like, yeah, I'm playing PUBG again, or Fortnite again. You can come into my, Oh, yeah, we had before Jwef, friend of the show, who's no longer with us. He passed away. But he went into Swee's Minecraft server and went into the voice chat and was like, what was he saying? I wasn't there for it.
I can't remember. I think he introduced himself as Jess. He said that he was you. He said, I'm PAXIL Party or something.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah, that's me. I talked to Double Sweet. Well, Double Sweet, if you ever listen to the podcast, we love you and would love to have you on the pod. Like, we don't have any animosity towards you. We were just dealing with some pretty real world shit.
The demons.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm doing better now. I feel a lot the fuck better, at least. And I'd love to have someone on to talk to them about why they do not need age 11,
because they're already 12.
Age 11 for me, going back to the internet thing, I guess, was like my entire life was watching Shane Dawson videos and
oh, I'm so
I know,
sorry.
right? Like
I was the same though when I was 11. Oh my god, so I can't complain. I fucking hate it.
Well, because like yeah, Shane Dawson is like public enemy number 1 now, at least to me. Like, and for separate reasons than because of what... So the general thing, people hate Shane Dawson because he used to make edgy jokes, and also he said that he jizzed on his cat.
They're the most, like, borderline edgy jokes ever. They're attempts at jokes, but there's no punch to them. It's just, haha, I'm a black person. It's like, good for you, Shane. You're a comedic genius.
Well, it's the kind of thing where he would, like, dress up as somebody's mom and be like, haha, I'm a mom. And it's not, like, there is no... But, so everyone hates him for stuff like that, and also because he apparently nutted on his cat, but, I hate him because he's very emotionally manipulative and very insincere. Like, I was talking to Chris about this last night. Shane Dawson, like, I'm pretty convinced that if he really felt like it, maybe not now, but, like, in 2018, he definitely could have rehabilitated Dahvie Vanity from Blood on the Dance Floor, who is, like...
He could have made people sympathize with Dahvie,
who has, like, raped multiple children, and... Like, everyone knows it to the point that literally you cannot find Blood on the Dance Floor's music on Spotify. Like, is it just gone?
The closest... I mean, he got close to an extent. He had Jeffree Star, like, a whole documentary. I think 2 documentaries about Jeffree Star or whatever.
And it was literally
this is actually a cool person.
And I get the sense it was... And the weird thing is, like, Jeffree Star was relatively successful before that because... He has this makeup line that is very popular. Like, you can find his stuff in Sephora, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's that... Like, he didn't need the rehabilitation, but Shane Dawson, I guess, was... I'm not sure if he got...
Yeah, and then they would show clips of Jeffree Star, like, calling people the N-word or being really racist in public, and then it's like, yeah, these were, like, dark days for me because I got called words, too. It's like, well, yeah, let's just fight fire with fire, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it happened a long time ago. It's not something where you'd be like, oh, well, you can never have a career again, but... He's just kind of an asshole, so it's like, this isn't really the person we want to, like, give a career.
I know, like, what are we going to do? Like, rehabilitate John Kay next? Like, what are we going for here?
Yeah, and then also tried to make people feel bad for Jake Paul, being like, yeah, look at all these terrible things he's done. He's predatory marketer, the way he advertises to children. The content he's making is, like, not safe for children, but is made for them.
Like, it's more interesting than your content, Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson's content is just, like dimly lit lights with him, like way too close to the camera being
Did you guys know that there's a thing called the Mandela effect? Whenever you see a box and you thought it said one word, it actually says the other because of the time merge or whatever.
Oh my god, I was seeing somebody from, like, that I met on Tinder that would make me, like... It was sad because I would show her videos like the Sam Hyde 2070 paradigm shift and, like, videos that I think are very funny, and she would just be, like, phone gazing the whole time, and she's like, no, you really gotta, like, see this, and then would put on fucking Shane Dawson conspiracy videos where he goes, like, did you guys know that there are a bunch of mattress stores all over the world, and, like, nobody knows what they're doing there because nobody actually goes there, and the reason why they are there is because it's a secret ring for the mafia. Like, it's the dumbest fucking bullshit, and they're presented in such a way where I've always, like, I said that Shane Dawson doesn't talk like a person, he talks like a YouTuber, and, like, there's a difference to me. Like, he talks like a person that's trying to, like, sell me on something, or, like, he's like a scam marketer or something. It's fucking, like, it's like a pyramid scheme artist or something.
Oh man, I want to talk about the Jake Paul video again. I just remembered there's the whole sociopath
Oh yeah,
thing.
go for it.
The whole series, he was trying to be like, so is Jake Paul actually that bad? And then he starts by being like, okay, I have this therapist friend or psychologist, whatever the friend was, I don't know, is going to diagnose Jake Paul as a sociopath because he has these sociopath traits that we found on Wikipedia, which maybe, I don't think they literally did, but they might as well have.
No, literally, it's the same shit as, like, how people diagnose, like, shitty ex-boyfriends or girlfriends with borderline personality disorder because they read the Wikipedia article on the symptoms, and it's like, yep, yeah. I've dated an asshole. That means that they have this, like, very particular personality thing.
They were trying to, like, say Jake Paul had this, and then they go on to visit him at his Team 10 mansion at the time, or whatever it was called, the Team 10 house, this content house they all lived in, these people that, I don't even know if it's still around. I think
like, the slightly less pedophilic version of the Sky House, basically.
Yeah, but instead of, sexually exploiting kids, they're just exploiting kids
for money
through other ways with, like, marketing
for their parents' debit card information or whatever.
Yeah, to get Team 10 merch. And they visit him, have fun with him, and at the end they're kind of feeling, this is Jake Paul guy. He's not that bad. He's a cool dude.
And of course Jake
Paul
Paul
is a fucking asshole.
Of course Jake Paul's gonna be nice to you. Like, you're about to make an expose video on him.
Yeah, what's he gonna do? He's gonna beat his girlfriend on camera for your YouTube video that he knows you're making?
I know, it's not like he's fucking... Like, that would be the... Like, I know the Paul brothers are fucking dumbasses, but they're not that stupid. Like, they're smart in some ways. Like, they know how to, like, exploit an audience. I think that's pretty impressive. Like, they're...
Even if it's for, like, terrible reason, they're still, like... They have to know how to do that. You can't be a dumbass and do that.
Like... An average... I wouldn't be able to sell, like, $60 clip art t-shirts. And they managed to do that by making these songs where they're like, woo, buy some merch. Woo, buy some merch.
If you want, like, a actual good video on Jake Paul, the Nerd City video on him is really good. That's where I kind of learned the whole exploiting marketing thing, because he showed me a bunch of that stuff, and, well, not me personally, just, like, the audience that in the video.
I'm gonna post it in the description. Yeah, like, and the best part is now, like, Jake Paul has this strange, like, people have, like, a begrudging respect for him kind of now because he's good at boxing.
Oh yeah, the Paul brothers are boxers now.
And, like, Jake Paul, like, the thing that, like, gets me the most is, like, that he is a fucking COVID denier. And, okay, it's one thing if, like, Niga Higa was a COVID denier. It's, like, nobody cares about him anymore. Like, Jake Paul has an audience of, like, literally tens of millions of impressionable kids.
Yeah, it's one thing if it's the PogChamp face, that guy.
Yeah.
So his name is Gutex, at least his username, and he had this whole thing, this whole episode. He's getting into, like, far-right conspiracies, QAnon kind of stuff, where he was posting stuff about the pandemic being over when it very much wasn't over when he was posting this. And, like, he doesn't have the same impact or audience that Jake Paul has, where Gutex says this in, like, all the, like, fighting game community. He's just like, this guy's a loser. But with Jake Paul, he's got millions of kids that are going to hear him talking against COVID, and they're going to start thinking, like, oh yeah, maybe this is all a hoax or whatever.
Yeah, like, and also someone like Notch, like, people, like, yeah, he is, like, a QAnon boomer now, too, but even, like, the fucking Minecraft developers hate Notch now. Everyone's disavowed him. Like, works for Minecraft, like, as a coder in, like, for Minecraft. Like, if you play Minecraft, like, the most recent version of it, you're playing on code, like, told me. Like, not solely, obviously, but, like, there are some things that, like, needed, like, patching or fixing that did. And, like, told me that in, like, the Slack group that of all the people, I don't even know if I could say this, but whatever. If you search for Notch in there, the people don't like him. Like, nobody's saying anything positive about him at all, because, like...
Yeah, he started the game, but he isn't the active guy for the game anymore. It's, like, it was his start, but everyone else is kind of working off of it now.
Yeah, but but I guess my point, though, is that, like, nobody takes Notch seriously. Like, nobody's going to be, like, going around maskless because Notch says that COVID is over. Like, the Paul brothers are so influential or whatever.
Very.
That, like, I can just see in my head, like, an 8-year-old going, like, no, Mom, I don't need to wear a mask. Jake Paul says, like, that this thing is over, and you're wrong. You fucking bitch. You know, like...
I mean, just to show their influence, remember, like, a couple episodes ago, we talked about the Pokemon stuff, and a big reason that got popular, outside of Twitch streamers I like doing box openings, but Logan Paul doing that was huge, and now all these Zoomers, it's like a hype beast thing. They want to get in on it. Oh, like, the Pokemon cards are worth, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars a piece. We got to start selling them. But in reality, like, the prices that they're thinking of are PSA 10 graded cards, not just a card you pulled out of a pack.
Yeah, the best thing is, like, that kind of thinking was usually reserved for, like, Yahoo articles. That's like, they'll find a stadium events in a bunch of NES games and then go like, oh, this game is worth $20,000, and it means that everyone thinks that their copy of, like, Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt is worth, like, you know, $200.
Oh, these are vintage games. They're worth a pretty penny.
But then, like, now I guess Logan Paul specifically is, like, brought that into the mainstream of being like, have you gone and bought a Burning Shadows at Target? Well, if you open it, you might get a $10,000 card in there, and it's like
they weren't literally saying that, but that's like the kind of mindset that they spawned, was people thinking that some cards had more value than they actually did.
Yeah, and so now they think all of them have value, when that's just like very assuredly not the case at all.
It's starting to go down though, because I was looking at Pokemon Evolutions, the reprint set of base set, and at its peak it was going for a lot more than it's normally worth, but it's starting to go down now because everybody opened Evolutions packs and put more cards into the market. And
well, yeah, because they probably had a bunch of Evolutions sitting around because fucking nobody...
Oh, Evolutions is still reprinted. It's such a popular set, so it doesn't have the value that some people thought it did.
Yeah, it's not like you're literally opening, like, a fucking, like, fossil set and getting, like, I don't know, a shiny Goldeen or something. Like, it's completely fucking different. It's like if in Yu-Gi-Oh!, like, oh, I go buy some pack, and I think that the card, like, the rare that I get in there is worth, like, you know, $100. It's like, no.
It's rare. That means it's valuable, because rare equals valuable in card games.
Yeah, whereas, like, just every pack has a rare.
Yeah, and some rares are, like, 40 cents at most.
And then, yeah, this is what the Paul brothers... This is your brain on the Paul brothers. And thank you, Shane Dawson, for furthering some people, like... I guess legitimizing him or whatever, which I guess you kind of have to legitimize him to some extent because he's so fucking popular, but you don't have to do it in such a way where you're like, actually, Jake Paul is a nice person. It's like, Shane, you're not.
Yeah.
Do you remember the fucking Bobby Burns thing?
Exposing. Oh, yeah, Bobby Burns made videos critiquing Shane Dawson, so Shane Dawson naturally was like, I'm gonna invite this guy over to my house, and
like,
so they
and
did.
It had this
and
very
then,
like peer pressure mentality, like fucking tone to it. I remember the video, and like
they pretty much just like turned Bobby Burns into Shane Dawson's friend, and then at the end of it, they got him a car, or maybe that was at the peak of it, and then I think some falling out happened. I have no idea.
Like, who cares? This is my thing. Like, fucking Bobby Burns was like a grade C like YouTuber before that, or like, I don't know, grade D. Like, he was just like a very unremarkable, like, yet another commentary YouTube channel or whatever.
Yeah, we need another like 20-year-old white guy to CSGO. I don't know if he did CSGO knife surfing. That was probably the era before him, but talk about like YouTube drama and content creators they don't like, and the rise and fall of YouTubers.
Yeah, like, that was my least favorite genre of video in like 2017 and 18. Was like,
because they were all the same. It was you know, the 20-year-old white American dude talking about this thing that is everyone else is talking about.
Here's a great point of comparison. So like, it's one thing for Retsupre to do the Retsupre videos where they're, like, making fun of people's Let's Play, because Slow Beef literally invented Let's Play, so he has every fucking, like, you know...
And the ones they found were uniquely bad.
Yeah, they weren't just,
people recording their TVs and having their, like, kid walk back and forth in front of the camera.
Exactly, or, like the one where, like, the person couldn't stop having his camera zoom in while he's playing Final Fantasy 13, like... You would find shit like that.
There was one, what was the other one I remember? It was a Pokemon playthrough, and the guy keeps, like, screaming gay slurs the whole time, calls everything a gay slur of some sort. I can't remember exactly.
Oh, no, yeah, like, he was talking about, like, Poochienas and stuff, or Poochienas or whatever.
Everything that would come up, he would just, like, call it something.
So, like, Retsupre, like, they're very storied, like, classic, like, Let's Players, so they have a point of, like, people respecting them to be doing this, and then you have...
It's better than being, like, the Leafy rant, and you make the same points that every other person's making.
Oh, no, well,
Leafy.
The thing is H3, like... I don't know if you're talking specifically about their Leafy rant, but, like, H3 made, like, for as much as I hate them nowadays, and I think most people do, they made their mark on the internet with, like, good content for a period of time. Like, I can't just say now that, like, H3 was never good just because they suck now. It's like, I would be lying.
Oh, they had great videos. I watched them all the time in high school.
Yeah, they were great. And then now, like... But then, it'd be one thing if, like, I don't know, fucking Donkey was, like, talking about, like, the downfall of X-YouTuber, but it's always these people named, like, Blazing Dave that have, like, 20,000 subs that... Like, you're not gonna watch their normal content. They have nothing to offer, but so they're just gonna make, like, the downfall of Ethan Klein or whatever. There was one like that I remember watching that Ethan even, like, responded to. It was just some guy that was doing the, like, the modern pyrocynical approach to, like, well, we're gonna do random zoom-ins, we're gonna have, like, just you know the style, like the iDubbbz kind of thing, except no, like...
Content cop is cool, so I'm going to literally try and make the next content cop.
When, like, that only worked because iDubbbz is funny and, like, made good points. But even then, iDubbbz's points that he made were so obvious.
He picked unique things, too. Because he picked people that weren't necessarily always being talked about. He was the first person to talk about Keemstar. And then, like, a year later, everyone was like, Keemstar is a bad guy, and making their CSGO knife surfing commentary videos about how bad Keemstar is.
Yeah, and, like, iDubbbz got to the point that he had fucking Post Malone in one of his videos. That's how, like, good of a YouTuber he, I guess, used to be. And then you have all these people that just... They have no... the least favorite, like, one of my least favorite things is, like, when people that aren't funny try way too hard to, like, inject humor into their videos. It's like, Frederick Knudsen doesn't do that. He's not, like, a particularly...
No, because he's just good at talking about topics he's passionate for.
Yeah, exactly. He knows that he's not, like, I don't know, maybe he is a knockout comedian. He never tries to be, like... Because
the Deep Blue down the rabbit hole is so fucking good. I like got emotional at the end, and it was over a chess AI.
And it's like what, like 2.5 hours long or something?
Yeah, about a chess computer, and it's such a compelling story.
Yeah,
it's just because he's good at making it interesting.
And then on the flip side, you have this person's small enough that they might actually hear this, but that fucking Chris Chan documentary series is like borderline unwatchable to me because the person like doing it has the most icy, awkward delivery and voice like for that kind of thing, which is okay if you're making like a 50-part series where every part is a half hour of you talking, have a voice that you can fucking listen to. And
most of the time it's just this month of whatever time period they're talking about, let's say 2010, Chris Chan made some crazy videos where he did these rants about Pokemon or Sonic, and then it's just like play the Chris Chan clip for 5 minutes, and then
for way the fuck too long.
Someone video responded to Chris Chan and posted this, and they show that. And then this happened, and sure, I guess people are interested because Chris Chan has fascinating stuff going on in that timeline, but the thing is, not everything is that interesting about Chris Chan to be a 40-part documentary. There's definitely highlights.
I feel like there's maybe there's enough highlights maybe to make like a 10, 20-part series. It doesn't have to be like, oh, Chris Chan then had like bran flakes this morning. Like, it's not interesting to me.
Someone saw Chris Chan in public and they didn't act out.
Exactly. Like, it'd be one thing if it's like, oh yeah, Chris Chan maced another GameStop employee. That'd be funny, but
for every one of those, the rest of it's just, another crazy video upload from Chris
Or like
Chan
another Sonichu where like they have weird vaginas, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of what Chris Chan does.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. You can't make a 40, 50-part series about Chris Chan, in my opinion, but I mean, good attempt if that's what you're going for.
I'd say there's enough stuff to fit like a down the rabbit hole maybe, and that's like it.
Yeah, like a single part, maybe a 2-parter if most.
Yeah, although it would just get kind of sad after a while, because like the Chris Chan story is not all fucking sunshine and rainbows. Like,
it's not just ha ha ha, look at this loser. Like, there's some depressing bits in there.
Like, when his mom dies, like, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen? Like, Chris Chan's gonna die, most likely, within like a month of that happening.
Yes, this is DJ Steves, and you're locked into the sounds of PAXIL Party. Big it up.
So, let's talk about Avatar 2.
Oh boy.
I want to start this one off actually. So, Avatar, not to be confused with The Last Airbender, the movie of M. Night Shyamalan that everyone loves and does not think looks like shit because of its horrible special effects, where the water just kind of looks like somebody drew on the screen with like a blue Sharpie. So, Avatar 1 was made on a budget of $240 million, and then like grossed over like
Became one of the highest grossing films of all time.
it made over $1 billion fucking dollars. So a very like profitable movie. And I knew people that went to see it. Like I don't know if you did, Chris. I didn't. But
I did.
What did you do? You remember anything about it beyond the like CGI?
I remember. I mean, I didn't remember too much. There's like a couple scenes I vaguely remember. It's just, you know, they're fighting and.
Can you name a character from Avatar?
I think the main character is named like Jake Sully, and that's about it.
Like all I know is that the blue things are called.
And I only know that because of a Jax Films video where they went out in public and got people to try and name an Avatar character, and if they could, they would give them like $10 or something, and only like one person got it, and that's how I remember the name of that character.
And like, yeah, so but which is funny because this movie grossed $1 billion, and you're absolutely not the only one that like can't remember anything about it. I know people that went to see this movie, and all they have to say about it is like, "Yep, that's definitely a movie." Like it was. Oh,
the whole,
it was cool to
reason
see.
It was hyped up. It took like 10 years to make. It was filmed for IMAX. It was filmed in 3D. So it was it was this big like technological thing, and then people saw it for the effects, and they were cool.
Yeah,
at the
I was about to
time,
say it was probably.
They never watched it again.
It was probably sick to see in 3D, but then, like,
especially in 2010.
But okay,
or 2009.
So they're making Avatar 2, and. Well, I might be done filming already. I don't know. Oh, wait, yeah, it is, because they wrapped...
Yeah, because Avatar 3 is apparently done filming, and they're working on 4 and 5.
And so, Avatar 2... So I said the first one cost $240. This one cost $400 million to make. And part of the reason for this is because they had to develop their own, like, next step in underwater filming technology to make, like... I guess they'll use it for other movies after this, but from what I can tell, it was made to be used in Avatar 2. And $400 million, and then it is presumably going to be another, like, 3D IMAX movie. And it's like, dude, people stopped caring about 3D movies in, like, 2011.
Yeah, and, like, IMAX is pretty common these days, and no movies are in 3D anymore.
So, like, I remember the last movie I saw in 3D was Toy Story 3 in, like, 2011, and at that point, like, nobody was they would only see a movie in 3D if they didn't have the option to see it in 2D.
Oh, okay, I found an article. It says Avatar, this is from September 29th. It might be a little different now, but at that time, Avatar 3 was almost done filming.
Well, like, yeah, like, they said it... Well, no, I think more recently they said it wrapped filming, so, like...
Yeah, and they're gonna get started working on, like, 4 and 5 or whatever.
Which, like... Well, I mean, they still have plenty to go, because most of that movie is gonna be CGI anyway.
So, Avatar 1 is the breakthrough in IMAX and 3D and all that. Avatar 2 is the underwater filming. Avatar 3, what's the innovation there?
You get to smell the movie.
Yeah, well, Spy Kids already did that.
Oh, well, I don't know. Then it's gonna be some shit where, like, you can't see the movie unless
you know how Spy Kids did it, though? Spy Kids had, like, scratch and sniff cards.
They have, like, spray...
It was the 4th movie or whatever, I think.
They have spray paint go in the, like, they be dispersed through the theater and everyone turns blue, like the navies in the movie.
And then, like, Avatar 5, it's gonna be, like, a VR movie. Avatar 6, you're literally going to be in the movie.
This is, I guess, kind of off topic. I had a dream one time that I was seeing a new Robert Pattinson movie in theaters where you as a audience member turned into a 2D Mario and then went around, like, hitting blocks on the wall where, like, they weren't, like, physical blocks. They were, like, pictures of blocks on the wall, and then you hit them with a hammer that they gave you. And then it would just, like, they would break. And this was the whole movie. That's what Avatar 5 is going to be.
Yeah, it's gonna be, like, actually happening in the theater.
So I'm actually, like, really invested at this point into Avatar 2. I'm gonna see it with Alex, the friend of the show, it's been on before, because it, like, well, I mean, I want to see it just ironically, just to be, like, the only...
Ironically watching Avatar.
Well, because, like, Alex and I are going to be the only people in the theaters. We're going to go, like, 2 weeks after it premieres. So, like, we're going to be, like, maybe...
Because everyone's going to go the first day, and then nobody else is... I mean, I feel like it might gross a lot. I feel like I don't know. I can't say for sure.
Well, but like,
it's either going to flop and then they have to cancel the other sequels, or it's going to do well enough to justify another one coming out. And people are going to be like, well, the movie was okay, but it made its money. And then when the third one comes out, they'll be like, well, the last one wasn't that good, so I don't want to see another one. And then it's going to flop.
I'm just really, I'm really invested in how well this movie is going to perform, though, because,
It's so hard to say.
I really don't think they're going to break even on this movie. Because... for the $400 million is only for the production so far. That's not going to include, the asinine amounts of marketing that are going to happen when that movie comes out. Think about how many, Denny's meals and, fucking McDonald's toys and, action figures and fucking t-shirts. There's going to be so much goddamn promotion for this movie that, people already, like I said, kind of forgot about the first one outside of, it was cool to see in 3D. That's all of the reason people saw the first one, and everything that was novel about the first one is just completely old hat now because that movie came out 11 years ago. Like I said, seeing Toy Story 3 at that point, 3D was just they were putting it on everything and nobody cared. I think they did The Hobbit in 3D also, but
Yep, they did. I saw the first Hobbit in 3D, then we saw the rest of them in 2D because there's no point to watch them.
What happened in the 3D Hobbit? What was 3D about it?
Some parts, I guess the foreground pops out a little more than the background, and
so it's like a 3DS basically.
Well, it's a little more than that. It's not remarkable enough to justify paying the extra to see any movie in 3D, really, unless I guess some of the early ones when they were coming out, they were really pushing effects being thrown at the screen, like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the meatball is going towards the screen.
Yeah,
and that was cool when you're 8 years old.
Yeah, I mean, if I was high, that'd probably be pretty cool nowadays, but I just don't see Toy Story 3, it was clearly not shot to be a 3D movie, so it was that same shit where, Woody is slightly outside of the background.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And there was no, I don't know, I think it was kind of cool when you would see, a movie that was, meant for 3D. They even did that with, that Saw movie that had, Chester Bennington in it. That scene where...
Yeah, it was Saw 3D.
Yeah, the scene where he's literally glued to the seat of a car. And then,
That's such a fucking banger scene. Oh my god.
It's so funny. And then...
It is unintentionally hilarious.
And then, it rips... I don't remember if it was in that scene, but there's a scene in there where somebody gets, ripped in half, and then all their guts, fly at the screen. And you can tell it was meant to be, in 3D, where, I'm getting guts all over my face.
Oh, you know what was in 3D that I forgot? Jackass 3.
That's awesome.
That would be fun to watch in 3D.
But, what could possibly even... I don't know, you're inside the 3D porta-potty? What's...
Yeah, I don't...
Because, I saw Jackass... I've seen the first two movies. I haven't seen 3D, but, I
like Jackass 3.
It's probably fun. I like the first two movies.
The first one is my favorite.
I remember one time I was watching, at, a movie night with my brother, and we watched, The Grudge, and then he didn't want to have that be the last note because it freaked him out too much, and so we watched fucking Jackass 2 afterwards just to kind of cleanse the palate. And it's a fun movie. Oh yeah,
that's the most brutal one, I think.
They're filming Jackass 4, and two of the people ended up in the hospital.
Days, I'm pretty sure Knoxville and Steve-O, I think it was the two of them, both are in the hospital 2 days after filming, after the filming started.
And I saw people on Twitter being oh, these old people, or these old men, they really need to stop pretending this is funny and move on with their life. And it's they're awesome. Who the fuck dislikes Bam Margera and Steve-O?
They're fun guys.
Yeah, I don't know, Steve-O is a pretty inspirational figure to me. He was a severe fucking drug addict for the longest time and then managed to clean up, and I know people think he's kind of preachy now, but it's I don't know, I'd rather him doing that than literally killing himself over, drugs that he's on. But, yeah, so Avatar 2, though, we're gonna have, Avatar watch over the next, couple years to see, on EMESIS to update. Okay,
2021.
So now, like, we know that they dropped $100 million into marketing Avatar 2, so we should actually have a segment where we watch Avatar and then, like, review it.
Yeah, we could do movie reviews on here.
Well, I mean, maybe not often, but I want to do that one just to be like, well, here's what I remember from the movie.
Well, I want to bring out the big announcement that everyone has been waiting for. EMESIS will be doing a review series. Everybody clap now, please.
So
Thank you for clapping.
We have chosen to review the Punk Goes series by Fearless Records, is a record company that produces bands like fucking, I don't know, I know Chris likes The Day to Remember, but they do bands like Memphis Mayfire and like Alisana.
They have like a few bands I like. By few, I mean maybe like 2 or 3 at most, but then the rest is pretty shit.
Like, yeah, they have a very, like, basically, if you've ever been to a Warped tour, you've seen, like, half their roster, or probably all their roster there. Like, they've got, like, August Burns Red, they've got Pierce the Veil, they've got, like, The Pretty Reckless, The Word Alive, Volumes. So, like, if you're familiar with, like, I guess Warped Tour core music, like, you know that these are all, like, pretty notable bands that, like, people care about. And they're all on Fearless Records. And then Fearless Records, they did this series called, like, Punk Goes ... like Punk Goes blank, where they will have a bunch of bands that are not punk bands go on to cover, like, the most popular one is Pop Goes Punk, where Punk Goes Pop, might as well be the same thing. No, it's called
Pop, it's the same thing. It's Punk Goes Pop, and there's like 7 or 8 of them now.
And like the original ones just kind of had bands that I guess you'd kind of expect.
It was just like kind of like 90s punk bands that are somewhat known. Like the first one isn't that memorable. I know Yellow Card does a cover of Michelle Branches Everywhere, and that's like whatever. It's not remarkably bad or anything. But then as they went on, it started to turn into like, there was a few that we thought were pretty funny. There's the one Call Me Maybe cover that was hilarious.
Oh my god, yeah. So there was this cover of Call Me Maybe where it's just like this really dramatic, like, fucking dumbass, like, emo fringe guy doing the, like, I feel a wish in the well. Except he's doing it in this, like, I don't know, like, I call it the fuck me voice, where, like, fuck me, I'm sensitive, like, metalcore guy voice. And, like, with this really calm accompaniment in the background, and then all of a sudden he goes, like, but now you're in my way. And then, like,
yeah,
it's fucking awful. It sounds terrible and it's hilarious how randomly.
And then there's a Can't Feel My Face cover that turns the bass line into chugga 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 chugga.
It's, yeah, so, like, if you, I mean, you obviously know that song, Listener. Like, it has a very tight, like, grooving bass line and, like, beat to it. It's a very, like, danceable song. And they turn it into this, like, generic mid-tempo, like, chug chug chug, like, you know, snare on the third beat kind of bullshit where it has nothing. Although the best one that I've heard more recently outside of the cover of Runaway is the Falling in Reverse cover of Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio.
I made you listen to that.
Yeah, and it's like, even just musically incoherent. Like, I fucking hate Falling in Reverse as a band, but at least they're...
My life is like a video game.
I literally didn't know that song until I saw some TikTok meme, and I thought it was like one of those, like, I'm Already Tracer type songs, like, made for shitty memes, but no, apparently it's just a normal-ass song made by, like, a band that has fans, and it is on an album that has, like, Why Do Girls Like Bad Guys and stuff like that. Like, these songs, that, as terrible as they are, they're, like, actual songs or whatever. They're not just, like, shit posts or whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and they have so many of these, though. They're up to Punk Goes Pop Volume 7, and they also have, like, Punk Goes, like, Classics or something, where...
There's, like, Punk Goes 90s, Punk Goes Classic Rock, Punk Goes Metal, and, my favorite, the one that, I'm pretty sure is just straight up racist, is Punk Goes Crunk.
I will show the track list on screen. It's, like... So, it has bands like...
It's a bunch of, like, power pop or pop rock bands. Some of them might be pop punk.
So here's a list of some of the bands on it. Say Anything, Forever the Sickest Kids, The Main, The Devil Wears Prada, All Time Low, Scary Kids Scaring Kids, Newfound Glory. Like, one, literally none of those are punk bands. And two, So this is Punk Goes Crunk, and if you know what crunk is, crunk would be like Lil Jon or like fucking Young Bloods or something. Not Young Blood the singer, but Young Bloods the group. But it has so the first song is a Lil Jon song, which it's like, okay, that's a crunk song. But then there's other songs on here like Men in Black, the Men in Black theme by Will Smith. And fucking California Love by Tupac. They have Umbrella by Rihanna.
Yeah.
They have Gin and Juice on a crunk covers album. So quite literally,
it's so racist.
They have The Roots on here. And the Roots are like your dad's favorite like rap group. You know, they do the fucking music for that one like late night show. I don't think it's Kimmel or Fallon. I don't remember which one.
It's Jimmy Fallon, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so they have all these fucking bands that just have nothing to do, or these like rappers that have nothing to do with crunk music at all, and they literally just figure like, well, a black person made it. That means it's like ignorant turn up music or whatever.
Yeah, and it's on an album called Punk Goes Crunk, and both of those things aren't present on the album. I mean, like, some of the bands might be pop punk at most, but like calling it punk as if it's like,
and like pop punk is an oxymoron to begin with, like, so
yeah, like it has elements of like, I guess, the punk sound, but it's not really like, it's just another term for power pop or pop rock. It's like, that's all it is.
I know, like some people call Weezer pop punk, and it's like, if Weezer is punk, then like I'm Aphex Twin. Like, it's fucking weird. And like, how do you put that? Like, the weird thing is I've never heard anyone really talk about how fucking racist that is. How thoughtless do you have to be to just hear fucking Buy You a Drank by T-Pain or something and go like, oh yeah, that's
crunk.
That. Like, yeah, exactly. It's not. They don't know, although I guess it's by and for people that need metal bands to fix The Weeknd for them. So like,
yeah, that's the fucking demographic for you right there.
Like, the thought that somebody needs to have The Weeknd be like appropriated in a way that they can enjoy by some like white guy with an emo fringe that sounds like his balls are like in his throat is like the fucking just. Do you like music? I don't know. Like, it's insane. But so yeah, we're gonna be reviewing those. I'm gonna get them all on vinyl, and we will take turns throwing them and shooting them like clay pigeons.
I think it was Punk Goes Classic Rock was the one where you said that like Pierce the Veil covers Don't Fear the Reaper.
Yeah, they cover Don't Fear the Reaper, and then Forever the Sickest Kids does Crazy Train. Never Shout Never does Bohemian Rhapsody. I actually really want to hear that one.
I mean, out of that list, honestly, the Pierce the Veil cover sounds like the most tolerable.
Well, the thing is I've heard it, and it's literally just like, it's almost like Vic Fuentes doing karaoke of that song. Like the instrumental just sounds like a karaoke version of that beat or that song, and then over it he's just doing his like never hit puberty ass vocals over it.
Yeah, I mean, like, the best part of that band is their instrumentalists are, like, really talented.
And I think, like, they're good at writing a hook. But
they can write hooks, it's just I wish they had someone a little better singing the hooks.
I mean, like, he's better than fucking, like, Helen Quinn, I guess, from Sleeping with Sirens, who, like...
He is. He's better than Christopher Drew from Never Show Never.
I fucking hated Sleeping with Sirens even in my, like, peak scene kid phase.
You made them even worse for me when you said that Kellen Quinn just sounds like a shitty Claudio Sanchez from Coheed and Cambria.
He literally does, yeah. Like, he sounds like somebody doing a bad impression of him or something. And once you hear it, you can never unhear it.
Yeah, like, go listen to, like, Favor House Atlantic and then go listen to, like, a Sleeping with Sirens song.
One of my least favorite songs ever, and not even because I particularly love the original, but their cover of Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls is one of the worst things that has ever touched my ears. Cause like,
oh yeah, it makes me aggressive.
Cause like, the original, for being like, even though it's like Hallmark commercial music, it's still like a pretty song with like nice melodies and stuff. Like, I wouldn't mind if it came on like right now, you know, that kind of song. But then you have, like, he sounds like he's singing to like an underage girl that like he wronged or something. Yeah. He's like singing that to her so she doesn't tell anybody what he did to her.
Yeah, you can tell we're having a lot of fun with this Punk Goes series, and so if you want us to start reviewing them, well,
we're going to do it anyway
because we're doing it. I don't know if we're going to review some of them. Like, I don't think the first one is necessarily remarkable. Like,
well, Punk Goes Metal was the first one.
Yeah, like, but the first volume of Punk Goes Pop, like, I don't really know who Stretch Armstrong is or Slick Shoes, so I don't know if I care about hearing their covers.
Slick Shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm just imagining all these bands sound exactly the same. They probably all sound like Yellow Card.
Who's Dynamite Boy? I don't know if I'm supposed to know that one, but, like, on this, I recognize Yellow Card in the starting line, and both of those are kind of one-hit wonders. Oh, Thrice.
I was about to say, I know Thrice. Like,
I like Thrice.
But then they also have, like, Punk Goes Christmas. It's like, no, I don't need you to ruin Christmas for me, guys. Like,
I think we're gonna review the ones that have stuff that is more remarkable to us.
Yeah, like Asking Alexandria covering Closer by 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, like that's more fun to us than some random one-hit band covering a one-hit wonder.
God, Motionless in White covering Du Hast by Rammstein. That's incredible. Like, that guy's not even German. The guy that's, like, trying to be Marilyn Manson.
Let's take a look. What was Punk Goes Pop 3?
Probably great.
Oh yeah, this has... I know this one. It has Woe Is Me, Hot and Cold. I've heard that before.
I think I've heard Of Mice and Men cover Blame It by Jamie Foxx, and that song is terrible. Like, the original is terrible, and why would you want to hear it covered by fucking Austin Carlisle?
Oh yeah, the Volume 3 also has the Ready Set doing the cover of Airplanes by B.O.B. and Paley Williams.
And to give you an idea of how punk the Ready Set is not, their big single, Love Like Whoa, was produced by the guy that produced What You Say by Jason Derulo.
It's literally just a pop song by a twinky little scene boy.
Yeah, like, I'll post a picture of, like, the cover on screen. It's very funny. But, like, you can literally tell that J.R. Rodham produced both of those because it has his, like, J.R. thing in both, like, songs at the beginning.
The Ready Set is not a punk band or whatever.
Like, then another favorite of mine is Mayday Parade covering Somebody That I Used to Know by Gautier, and so they had Vic Fuentes from Pierce the Veil do Kimbra's part in that song. And the implication there, because in the original, Gautier and Kimbra are, like, broken up, like, lovers that are singing to each other.
They're singing it as if they're, like, exes.
Yeah, so the implication there is that Mayday Parade guy broke up with Vic Fuentes, and then they're both, like, pissily, like, singing to each other about it. It's fantastic. So, check it.
That's probably more tolerable. I'd probably rather listen to that than some of the other covers on there.
Oh, I haven't even heard this one. The Word Alive doing Heartless by Kanye West.
Oh, no.
So, check in for episode 8, I believe it'll be, when we will be reviewing Punk Goes Pop Volume 1, maybe. Or maybe 2.
We'll figure out. We'll find one. Whichever one, when they start to get more interesting, that'll be the first one.
In the meantime, I think we're going to get going. I need to go run a mile. I need to go... I'm going to go to the arcade. No, I'm not. I'm going to go just find some homeless people and pay them money to do EMESIS stunts for me. So...
Yeah, with our EMESIS BAT credit card.
Yeah, we're going to, like, do a big giveaway soon, where if you spray paint EMESIS on a really cool landmark, we will give you something. So... Thank you for listening, everybody. Stay off the rails. Make sure to go nowhere near those rails. If you do get a rail, make sure it's up your nostrils. Alrighty.
See you next year.